Hello everyone and welcome back to the 113th episode of PandTha Talks.
Hello.
This time I shouldn't have been cut off. Huzzah!
We can hope. We can
Yeah.
pray. But we will never know
Yeah,
until it's too late.
We'll probably never find out.
I'm rolling over my headphone wire.
Amazing.
Okay, this is great size.
It is, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. So we have a... to be honest, I'd say it's a pretty average week. It's pretty quiet overall. There's been some big news to do with GTA 6 delays. Certain games now being higher likelihood of receiving a Game of the Year award. You got to think we have Come Deliverance 2.
When does that actually happen?
Usually it's like September, October time. Then we've also got Stalker 2, which would be put forward to for a Game of the Year this year, realistically.
I'm so sad because I basically can't play Stalker 2 because my GPU sucks balls.
Really?
Yeah. I tried it, sure, and I'm just on 40.
Ooh.
It's too low to play, and it's not like it's staying at 40 either. It's dropping, like stuttering here and there. Especially with you gotta think with all the extra stuff they're adding, especially with the A life being activated properly now. It was gonna take a hit.
Oh, definitely it was.
And the 3060 is not a great GPU.
No,
for budget, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Any budget card is good because it gets done what it needs.
Yeah.
But when you try to start going to the higher tier stuff, you're definitely gonna struggle.
100% you are. It's how they work, to be fair. They're there for temporary use case and for cheap builds.
Yeah.
And they'll get you into the PC game market pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest. It's done wonders for me, considering it is the kind of card that it is.
Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered another topic.
Yeah, you told me about this.
The Xbox price increase. We have EA cutting jobs, like the scum they are.
Wow, no holding back there from Rory.
Not anymore. I'm fed up with them, I'll be honest.
He's angry now.
I've just sort of given up on them, It's been how long? How many years at this point? And they're still doing the same shit time and time again. There has been no fucking changes. And I'm fed up. I don't want to see it anymore.
Don't blame you.
So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts there. Hello. So then we've got ChronoTrigger. Sadly, it's not getting a remake as far as anyone knows, which a lot of people will be quite disappointed to hear. Assassin's Creed Leak has fans divided on the future of their games. The GTA 6 delay, as I said. Kingdom 2 Deliverance, as I said. Some Schedule 1/Drug Dealer Simulator update news. Thought it'd be interesting to cover this.
Definitely. Just a quick overview.
Yeah. Bungie's attempt to dismiss the Destiny 2 copyright case using YouTube videos describing vaulted elements of the game has been shut down by a judge who is not going to sit through a 10-hour law.
What?
I can't even.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get more information on that. Oh my,
definitely.
That sounds like a mess.
And Fallout 1 and 2 source code isn't lost after all, as Bethesda and everyone believed it to be, thanks to one hero programmer who made it a quest to snapshot everything. So they managed to save it.
Gonna have to hear how long he spent on this.
Honestly, I am. I'm impressed. Honestly, I really am. As I said, then we've got the Microsoft increase, and I wanted to show a TikTok of something that Will sent me because we like to discuss at times and send each other bits of games mechanics that we think are pretty cool. And Will sent me one that I was actually kind of impressed by. So
you and me both, bro. That's why I sent it to you.
Yeah. So we're going to cover that as well. So with all that said and done, let's move now into the actual articles. And here we are. So the Assassin's Creed leak has fans divided on the future. Will, did you see an Assassin's Creed leak?
No.
Neither did I. So honestly, I'm baffled at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what you can leak after the game's been released, but okay.
I mean, we'll see, won't we? May 3rd, so literally yesterday. Assassin's Creed is a Ubisoft franchise. No shit. I'm moving on from that.
Actually, really?
Yeah, I know, right? After nearly 18 years...
Hang on, I didn't know this. Can we not read that, please? I'm going to get whacked. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna reach you, but yeah. After
I don't know.
nearly
You're angry enough today, man. I think you'd figure a way.
somehow, some way. After nearly 18 years since the original Assassin's Creed released, and based on what we've heard about the next releases, Ubisoft has no signs of slowing down. Well, that depends. Recently, we've heard a lot about them possibly going bankrupt. So, I'm pretty sure that'd make them slow down.
Look, slow it down, man. That's gonna be a grinding halt.
Yeah. That's throwing people overboard. Oh, wait, yay, following up.
Fuck. He's on fire today.
Thank you, I do try. However, a more recent Assassin's Creed leak has players divided on the future of Ubisoft's flagship series. Some players are encouraged by the amount of Assassin's Creed that's coming up, though many more fear that we may be approaching a point, or have already reached the point, of oversaturation when it comes to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, oversaturation of DLCs.
You reached that point a long time ago, Ubisoft. I'll be honest. You need to constantly adapt, and you just kind of thought, "Oh well, this is a good cycle we've got in. Let's stay, bastards." Yeah, yeah.
I apologize in advance. We have both not really had a great week, and evidently Rory's had even worse week than I first anticipated. So I have a feeling we're going to be dealing with a lot of Rory.
Yeah, fun.
It'll be entertaining at least, I suppose.
It's amusing. The latest on the next chapter of Assassin's Creed releases follows the roadmap from Ubisoft detailing what's coming next for Assassin's Creed Shadows. DLC, microtransaction, sellout.
I mean, the fact that we've already had to discuss that you don't even get the full story of the supposed full game that you paid full price for, and it's an unfinished story that you have to buy DLC to hear the end of the story, which is
questionable. Very questionable. You know what? Shall we pull up their roadmap here? Apparently, it's here. Come on then. Well, do you have any photos? Oh, we do. What are you updating with?
So new game, of course.
Year 1 post-launch roadmap. Story drops. It's called a story for a fucking reason. It's supposed to be connected. New difficulty settings. Wow. Let me just increase the amount of health this person's got while decreasing the amount of damage you do.
Yeah.
Photo mode updates.
We've actually discussed that a lot recently. Well, not recently, but there was one episode. I sort of went off on a ramble about difficulty in games and how it's no longer like actually anything difficult. It's just the likes of an FPS. Let's just make enemies bullet sponges. That's it.
Yeah. Whereas, to be honest, I preferred the older method, just to add more people and just fucking
there was no uniqueness to a difficulty. It was like not like how it used to be anyway. Like you'd have extra challenges or added enemies or just different variations of something or another. Whereas these days, all it is you do less damage, the enemy has more health and does more damage, and you have lower health. That's all it is. That's all that defines difficulty nowadays.
Yeah. Photo mode updates. How amazing. New Game Plus. Cool.
I do like New Game Plus in some games.
I like it, but how can you call that a content drop?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not a content drop. But I do like the concept of New Game Plus. It's not like they're suddenly coming up with it.
Community feedback. He doesn't like bullshit.
He doesn't like going through the game that you've just enjoyed playing now with all your upgrades and all other stuff and just slaughtering everyone you come across.
You see, sir, you failed at the first step there. That requires you to enjoy this game.
My bad.
Community feedback, yeah, that's a lot of bullshit. People have been asking you to go back to the style of 2 and all that for years, and you've listened to the minority instead of the majority on that one.
I guarantee you there's a forum somewhere anyway with people giving their feedback.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Special
Don't
collaborations.
Think they consider themselves part of the community, though.
Oh no. Special collaborations. I already know what that means, and I hate them for doing that again. It's cool in certain ways, and basically it'll just bring characters from other Assassin's Creed games into it, but it'll be the most recent set, I'd imagine anyways. Actually, they could bring Ezio.
But even at that, are they going to ruin it by bringing them into this game?
Probably. They ruin everything in some way.
I'm surprised that wasn't just a straight up yes.
Yeah.
He's
parkour
trying. He is
updates.
trying.
Well, we saw Ubisoft, what happened when you tried to update Unity's parkour engine. People learned to fly very fucking quickly. Specific features updates. Ah, yes, because I'm an assassin and I'm just a big man who's very angry and wants to hit you with a big club.
I think at that point you become a mercenary, not an assassin.
Well, that's the thing. He's not a mercenary or an assassin. He's supposed to be a samurai.
Okay, this game seems very confused with itself.
Yeah. Codex updates. Wow. Store drop. What did I say about these store drops? What did I say?
Their main point that they focus on.
DLC expansion Claws of Awaji. I don't know. I do kind of find it funny because that I'd say would probably wait. Story drops is different to the expansion, so does that mean that they're still continuing the story because the story just wasn't finished, and they turn it into a full live service game?
Oh, don't say that.
That's what it looks like.
Sorry.
That's basically what this is, though. It's just a live service title, a single player live service title.
From what we've covered and what we've seen, we already don't have a high opinion of this game. Don't try and tell me they're going to turn it into live service. That's just going to be awful.
Go. So, early May, new free quest, the works from Luis Frois, codex update and quality of life improvements. Late May, parkour update, height gaining back effects, height gaining side effects, a new vertical ledge jump.
What?
Wow. And first collaboration. Photo mode update. And then you got the second story drop in June, which is amazing. New free quest, new ally for your league. New difficulty settings. Gameplay immersion options. Open world alarm system. Okay. Headgear in cutscene option. This is all I ever wanted.
Why is that on the roadmap?
I've got no idea.
That specific piece of information.
Do you know what actually concerns me? One day we're going to hit the point where Ubisoft try charging for these free updates.
I'm surprised they're not, mate, to be honest.
Same. And then you've got an unknown date for New Game Plus, community feedback updates, new story drops, special collaborations, codex updates, animus content, and new rewards. And then you get your optional. So they're not even fucking announced yet as to when they're supposed to come. Just
that makes no sense.
Between
this
June and
absolutely enormous team under a massive title inside a massive company, and they don't even know how long it's going to take them to release a New Game Plus.
Curious. How big, roughly? Over 3,000 people. Yeah.
How does any of this make sense?
So Ubisoft, what the actual problem is, it's not that you're working on other projects, it's not that you've not got enough people, it's not that you've got too many people, it's that you need to start fucking setting boundaries as to what games you are working on, what you aren't, because it's clear that you don't know what people want anymore.
Seems like it.
I feel like I've covered this article and I've not even read it.
I think we were both sort of over even wanting to talk about this game whenever we found out that the storyline wasn't even completed. Like, it's bad enough that some of the mechanics were crap, and the main point that got us in terms of like the gameplay is the fact that you're stealth jumping from above to kill someone and they just magically warp to the side and throw you to the ground. Like, stuff like that already got us. To then hear that you're basically gonna have to pay to finish the storyline, that was the nail in the coffin. But what we're reading now and what we're discussing now, I think it's obvious that we just don't want to be here.
Yeah,
we'd rather be on the next topic, and the next topic isn't nice either.
To be fair, though, this is, I just realised this is actually something a bit different. The report alleges Ubisoft has plans for 9 more Assassin's Creed games
over the next 6 years. How long did this one take, and was it not delayed?
A lineup which supposedly includes more RPGs, like the new era of Assassin's Creed.
Because they've done so well.
Yeah, I know, right? Alongside 3 remakes, 2 multiplayer games, a mobile game, and a smaller experience that we don't know much about right now.
I think I know where all of Ubisoft's money went.
Yeah, I've got a feeling I know as well. I'll be honest, I'm intrigued about multiplayer, but I don't want it to be multiplayer. I want it to be a co-op. I think a co-op Assassin's Creed
how on earth are you gonna do PvP in a game like that? It just doesn't make sense.
Did you never see it? There was PvP options.
There were.
Yeah,
And
ages
then
ago.
again, I've never played any of the games. I've never had much interest in them.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Basically, it was the Assassin's Creed multiplayer. Oh, I need to add this account to my bloody YouTube Premium because it does my head in. I have it on my main account. I just don't use my main account when recording.
Yeah.
Go away! Come on, you can do it. There you go. So basically, the way it works is, shush.
That guy's Mike. He's on the other side of the room yelling into his.
The way it works is basically you have to assassinate people, and each person has got a target. You're trying to find your target while they're trying to find you. Then you got Unity, who did actually co-op missions, but they were set areas. I'd like a full open world system. This is though what everyone knew it as. Basically, you just a load of NPCs. You can change who you are dependent on your ability, and you're trying to find someone that stood out and assassinate them while someone else was trying. There's usually about 6 to 8 of you on a map, and the maps aren't too big, but you could usually tell. It was clever. It was a smart idea, but there wasn't much, too useful about it. So yeah, that was the sort of stuff they had before. But if they were to do a co-op game instead, I think I'd be much more for it.
Yeah, the game definitely would suit co-op more.
Yeah, I think it'd be very enjoyable as well, and that'd be probably one of the few things that get me to play an Assassin's Creed game. Because you make the game have the old sort of mechanics, and then just sort of throw on top of there, playing with a friend, making the difficulty heightened, adding more guards and stuff, and making it harder to get in. Guaranteed you're going to have a blast with friends trying to figure out, right, where the fuck do we go? Who's going to be a distraction? Who's going to be the murderer?
Yeah. There's definitely loads you could do, and it would add a lot of creativity to the game as well.
Oh yeah,
because you could do stuff like what you just said. One can distract while the other assassinates. Like there's so many different things that you could do.
Oh, 100%. There's just so much to it, and I think that'd be a great idea. Ubisoft, though, they don't really give a shit. Let's be honest. I'm gonna.
I mean, the fact that they're planning to make a mobile game that tells you everything.
Yeah. For today, I'm removing our little voice anchors because they're not working. So I'm going to have to go fix them later. I don't know what's happened with them, but we'll take a look at it, and for next episode, things will work.
I knew something would break after you told me what you told me.
Yeah, after the update.
I'm just glad that it's not.
It's nothing major. Yeah.
Yeah.
EA cuts another 200 jobs in service of driving future growth, bringing total job losses to around 300. We are treating our people with care and respect throughout this process. Like, fuck you are.
Yeah.
Electronic Arts.
Hey, we care about you and we respect you as a person, but you're fired.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great.
It does. It sounds fucking phenomenal. I mean, that'll definitely look great on their track record, won't it? We treat our staff with care and respect while we booted them out of our office.
Literally.
Electronic Arts has cut another 200 jobs, these redundancies coming on top of the 100 Respawn layoffs announced earlier today, April 29. So that's, 300 people, okay. IGN reports these wider cuts chiefly affect EA's experience team, which typically serves to support players in customer service, fan care, and marketing, although other EA departments saw reductions as well. Why don't you just fucking fire the high-up people who don't know what the fuck they're doing? Actually, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. I want to see EA just fall apart at this point. Just make a ton of indie studios away from EA and just do better. I believe the
that's just the way it's going,
Yeah.
People are leaving the bigger companies in fear of being fired and just making their own companies.
Exactly that. As part of our continued focus on our long-term strategic priorities, we've made select changes within our organization that more effectively aligns teams and allocates resources in service of driving future growth. We are treating our people with care and respect throughout this process, working to minimize impacts by helping affected employees explore new opportunities within the company when possible and providing support during the transition. I call such bullshit. Truly.
I mean, it's the same thing with every company that we've talked about over the years now, and it hurts to say this now over the years of all these redundancies that are being made. They're all saying the same thing, saying they're helping them the best they can and treating them with all the respect they deserve. It's like, but what good does that do? At the end of the day, they've lost you fired them.
Yeah,
They're screwed over because you decided, or rather, someone higher up decided they're not getting enough money.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'll be honest as well. My big question always comes down to the fact of, are they going to have another situation like we had with, I think it was Unity, who ended up basically just dropping them an email at 5 a.m. saying, yeah, you're fired.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We don't know until the actual employees who've been let go come forward and say, yeah, this is how it was done, how they were under the effect of. Yeah. Again, these layoffs come on top of the 100 or so staff impacted at Respawn, where 2 early-stage incubation projects have been cancelled and cuts have been made across its Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi teams. The EA-owned studio said it's been difficult to make the decision to make some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legend and Star Wars Jedi. Yeah, I'm surprised that you've decided to make cuts to them when those are like 2 of the games that are actually doing well for UEA.
Yeah, I don't know how much you know about Apex. You obviously know I used to play a good bit of it.
Yeah, I know about the
sheer amount of microtransactions and the insane amount of that you can buy, and especially now that they guarantee a legendary or whatever it's called again. It's been that long since I played it. To after it's something like 500 or something.
Yeah,
is insane. And when it first became a thing where you're guaranteed one after 500, I remember watching YouTubers, especially Noah J. You know Noah J. He spent an insane amount of money on those packs, and I mean an insane amount.
I mean, it's still clearly got a player base.
Yeah. Oh, it's a live service game that did well. It will have a player base for a very, very long time. Any of them that are live service that started
100%.
well typically go well. They're not particularly liked a lot of the time,
no,
but people still play them because all the new shit that gets released is god awful.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing about it, though, isn't it? And you've got that, and then you got the Star Wars Jedi games. Now,
it just blows me away with the absurd amount of microtransactions they have, and just the sheer amount of money they bring in from that alone.
Yeah,
that they make cuts to these teams.
So these are the 2 games I'm on about here. So we'll go for Fallen Order first. So obviously you're not going to have a high player count because this game's been out for ages. But you can clearly see people enjoyed the game. The rating is clearly there. 156,000 reviews, 88.58% positive. You can't complain. Then you've got Survivor. Didn't do as well on PC review-wise because it was very stuttery. But people did still enjoy it as a story. It wasn't anywhere near as good as the first one. But, you know. Oh, that's why Fallen Order's suddenly picked up, I see. Let me just see. Why was this rated mixed? I do believe it was to do with the game running bad. Yeah, running bad.
I love how every time we're seeing reviews for performance, they always have a 4090.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah. It's literally just performance on PC. So yeah.
Wonder what causes that issue.
I'd have no idea. Probably, the staff who was trying to actually fix these issues just suddenly been told, yeah, bye.
I guess we'll never know because, well, they got fired.
What? No, you can't say that. Well, that's clearly putting down the AAA industry and all the... Yeah, I can't continue that joke.
It's just like if any of these companies actually cared, we wouldn't see the CEOs and all and the massive names still getting increases in their wages.
Yeah. if they were failing as bad as they are.
Yeah, but they're not failing. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're not.
Especially when you look at Apex, the fact that got team cuts is genuinely confusing the hell out of me.
It depends how much they're making on the back end, though. I suppose with that one.
I very much doubt that they're losing money on it.
Oh, so. No, sorry. put the party poppers away. ChronoTrigger isn't getting a remake, as far as anyone knows anyways. This is a bit interesting, because if I recall correctly, this is awkward. Yesterday you might have seen claims that ChronoTrigger writer Yuji Horii accidentally confirmed that a remake of the beloved JRPG is in the works. It all read a bit suspicious right off the bat, because it initially just came from a Reddit post with someone who attended a panel Horii was speaking at during Nepal Comic Con, without any video evidence. Then some other posts started cropping up alongside commenters saying they were also there and it was true, except it isn't true, because it turns out it was just all translation miscommunication. So, as sad as it is to say for people who absolutely love that, it's a no-go. To be honest, a lot of this is just Twitch VOD just proving, it's not. And then other than that, it's just Square Enix talk. So, no.
At the end of the day, though, anything's possible, seeing as, Oblivion Remaster just suddenly appeared.
Yeah, talk about a mad bloody appearance from nowhere, and then all of a sudden, let's dive straight in.
Yeah, see, you never know. Never get your hopes up, but you never know.
Exactly that. You never know when things are just going to randomly appear. So, GTA 6 delayed until May 2026. We need this.
Nobody saw it coming.
I don't have a clue how people did not see that coming. So, we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. Yeah, because that first trailer, if I remember correct, we were the only people on YouTube who actually...
Oh, that went well, didn't it? Man.
We took some flack for that one.
What I find crazy is, like, a few years ago, that would have been completely acceptable, if not, like... Not our comments. The actual trailer itself would have been completely acceptable, if not mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But considering the specs that have been rumored, which probably are fairly accurate, you would expect that even the trailer would be able to render shit properly.
Yeah, that was kind of our big criticism about it, wasn't it?
Like, if you're making this game and people are basically saying you're going to need minimum 4090, recommended 5090. And it's probably not going to be far off given how, like, wide scale this game's going to be. But you're telling me after 200 meters, textures are going to meshes.
Yeah, it becomes a lot of questions. And the weirdest part is, we're not going to get a PC release for like another year after this.
Oh, I can't wait to see how it goes, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be a clusterfuck, just like GTA 5. I mean, just to like put this out there, GTA 5 released on PC... and we'll pull all this up so that people can see it. 2015, literally the year I left school. I waited up till
2013 it came out, no?
Yeah, that was on PlayStation. On PC,
yeah, that's when it first released,
in 2015. So the reason I pulled this up is because I actually waited up and like got this installed so that when I got home, I could jump on it. So, I'm now going to show you Enhanced, which released on the 4th of March. Literally 1 month ago. No.
We're done. 2 months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago. I'm forgetting months. 2 months ago, it took them to finally upgrade the graphics and fix some of the critical fucking issues with GTA Online running like shit. It's insane. It really is. So, I don't expect the game to run well at all. Rockstar has announced that GTA 6, which was due to release on consoles this year, has been delayed till the 26th of May 2026. In a post on its official website, the developer says, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set to release on May 26, 2026.
Was there actually a release date given?
It was pretty much told that it'd be later this year. Don't worry about it.
So we weren't even given like an actual date, and they're delaying it, but they're delaying it to an actual date. Like,
yeah. Basically, this does happen sometimes, and all it is, when they say it's coming out 1 year, they'll state the year, and then they delay it, and they'll pretty much give you an actual date. Cyberpunk did it once or twice. We are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding the new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling. Yeah, sure. For our entire team, we want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game.
I personally have never gotten the hype of GTA.
I just like blowing shit up.
So do I, but you can do that in every game.
Well, Can't do it in Tetris.
All right, you. Oh, yeah, there.
Makes me sad.
Hey, I'm sure there's a mod out there. There's a mod out.
Match a line, all of a sudden, boom, explosion. Yay.
No, you have to get a full Tetris, man. It just blows up the entire screen.
Even better.
Whole phone implodes.
Yeah, fantastic. Love it. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and GTA 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at a level of quality you expect and deserve. The post ends promising more information soon, but let's just pause for a second, let's just pause for a second, gutting. GTA 5 released in 2013, and this means there'll have been a 13-year wait for the next installment of the series.
You're not just thinking as well.
Shoot.
Look at the state the games have been releasing in these last couple of years.
Yeah.
And these are supposed to be full releases.
Yeah.
So what on earth is the state of this game going to be?
To be honest, I had this similar question when Red Dead 2 was releasing. But Red Dead 2 came out really, really well.
It was also many years ago.
Don't remind me. How long ago was that now? Oh, okay. 6 years.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Now I'm talking about nowadays, Rory. Especially the last 2 years. Like it was
6 years ago.
But I'm talking about mainly the last 2 years. The big title releases have been
shocking, to put it lightly.
Absolutely. So, that's the only anticipation I have for this game. I want to see what happens on release, man. That's all I want to know.
I'm with you on that. No doubt the news will have many feeling wasted, including many developers and publishers who feared this exact scenario. GTA 6 was announced in late 2023 with a spectacular trailer. We disagree. By release date. That's now for the birds. The thing is, you can tell when a game is close to release. Because all of a sudden, for the next 6 months, all you'll get is trailer. They haven't published anything since that forced trailer, and the trailer was forced because someone leaked it. The worst thing about this news, Rockstar hasn't even confirmed a PC version exists, even if it's a racing certainty, and the worry must be that for PC gamers will be waiting even longer after May 2026. I couldn't care. I'll wait. I'm not willing to.
When we were talking about the PC release for it in the video that we did,
yeah,
it was what was it, like a year and a half we had to wait for GTA 5 to come to PC?
Yeah.
So we were pretty much in agreement that there's a good chance we'll be waiting at least 2 years for a PC release.
Pretty much. I'd say between a year and 3 years.
Yeah, and then as they said, for all you know, they might just go, fuck you, and not do a PC release. It's unlikely, but as I said, anything's possible.
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 actor celebrates the Grand Theft Auto 6 delay. We're in with a shot of goatee. I love this. Luke Dale, the voice actor of Hans Capon, is thrilled that GTA 6 won't be out until 2026, and for a pretty good reason. I love this guy. He actually went and played through the game afterwards. His entire reason, because this guy is one of the main NPCs that you go through the story with. He went, yeah, I'm playing the game. Oh, who you plan to romance? Well, I want to fuck myself, obviously. Love it. Absolute respect.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. The big news of the day, without question, is the GTA 6 delay from fall 2025 to May 26th, 2026, despite the reassuring words of Take-Two CEO Strauss, who said the company is still going to make a great many truckloads of money this year. Just about everyone was unhappy to hear the news. Gamers, analysts, Take-Two shareholders, and PC Gamer senior editor Rick Stanton are all taking it quite poorly. In fact, I'd go as far to say as pretty much everyone is unhappy about it, except for, as noticed by Games Radar, one guy, and that guy, well, he's thrilled. I can't fault him. I actually love this just tweet. Everyone else is so upset, and then there's him.
That honestly worries me a little bit. Like, even if GTA 6 does release, and it is an absolute steaming pile of garbage, it worries me that it's still gonna get, like, some sort of trophy just because of the title and the amount of players it'll end up getting, no matter
100%.
what state it releases in. And I think that's just so shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, as I was saying to you earlier, I'm pretty sure I saw one from Stalker 2 just earlier today. Because I saw them post in their Discord, as I just randomly check occasionally.
Yeah.
I think it might have just been a Discord post. But they actually said in there, like, there is a chance for us to get a Game of the Year award this year. And it's like, I do hope they do win an award of some form.
There needs to be recognition for games like Stalker 2 and the likes of Cyberpunk as well.
Yeah.
The game's released in definitely rough shape, to say the least. But look at what they've done.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be some sort of recognition for that, because there's so many titles where they don't do shit. They just keep pushing out stuff to try and get more money, not to actually fix the game. And that's all you see.
So that you can look nice while lagging at 5 frames per second.
Literally. And they're the kind of games that end up getting the awards. Whereas we get these developers that, didn't have a great time on release, but worked their absolute asses off to fucking fix it.
Yeah, no, exactly. This might seem a little oddly celebratory at first glance, but he's got cause. Luke Dale is the actor who portrays Henry's nobleman pal Hans Capon in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and 1, and that game is one of the biggest releases of 2025, a critical and commercial hit that's going to be in the Game of the Year conversation in pretty much any year, except those years that see a new Grand Theft Auto drop. In those years, well, everyone else might as well just stay home.
Unless, as I said, the game flops massively, then it's going to make every other game look fantastic.
Yeah. Just in case anyone was unclear about what this message meant, Dale followed it up with another point that was clearer on his aspirations. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Game of the Year 2025, fingers crossed. I have to imagine that Dale isn't alone in his excitement over the removal of 2025's one true juggernaut, although his is the only open expression of it I've seen on social media thus far. Of course, GTA 6 becomes a problem for 2026 now, but a problem delayed is a problem solved, right? For the record, because this is relevant to our interests, GTA 6 remains unannounced for PC, despite the newly added months of development time. That's got Rich worried that he won't be able to play it until 2027, or maybe even 2028. He's definitely not celebrating.
Crazy, though.
Do you know what I love about Luke Dale? And I need to go onto our Twitter to show this. So, Luke Dale, here he is. He's an actor, a filmmaker, and now he goes on Twitch and YouTube because he likes acting and he loves playing the game. And he's not actually to do with the game other than a voice actor for it. But he's that passionate about it and enjoyed it that much.
I mean, that's what you want to see, man.
Yeah. Wait. Luke Dale desperately trying to save Capon from marriage. He's trying to save himself from marriage in game. That's the thing, that he cares so much about it. I'm like, you know what? I fucking love that. I really do. And you can see him with Henry's voice actor as well. They spend so long together, having a laugh, having a good time, practicing stuff.
I mean, you would form an insane bond.
Yeah.
2 characters in a game that's done really well, and they had to sit and voice it all together. They're gonna form a relationship of some sort.
That's even better. Come play with Luke Dale and I tomorrow at Twitch as we do our first Streamly Live, Saturday, 3rd of May. So yesterday they did a stream together. This is Henry's voice actor and Mocapper and Hank Capon's. So the 2 main characters, basically. That is absolutely fantastic.
I wonder how many of the lines they just fucking played off of a whim.
Oh, definitely. But they seem to have such a blast, and the fact that they're so passionate about the games, even after contracts are finished and stuff, that's amazing. It really is amazing to see, and that is the sort of passion we want in the industry. Guys, fucking take note. So, Schedule 1 and Drug Deal Simulator. It feels a while since we've covered this.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we've heard anything major.
Yeah.
The game is definitely, I don't know if you've looked at it at all recently, the game has definitely lost quite a lot of players. And that's mainly because there's not really a whole lot to do in the game.
Yeah, until there's updates, I can't see there being much now. I mean, they don't even pop up now in the top.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Schedule 1. Yeah, it's dropped. I mean, to be honest,
75k in game, which is nuts.
Oh, actually, per day, it does seem to be just touching about 100k at its peak per day. So that's actually still good. 117,000 last 24 hours.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
It's not like they've like completely dropped off. There is still player base, but you can see it's definitely dropping.
Yeah, you'll see it spike back up though when he does drop an update.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing. When updates drop, we'll definitely see more. But still, it's good to see. I think they just need literally a bit more in that regard. Yeah. So, we as the developers do not feel like we are being robbed by anyone. Drug Dealer Simulator developer says it would not pursue any legal actions against Schedule 1 in any shape or form if it had its way.
It just doesn't make sense.
Let's read a bit further and we'll see, shall we? Byte Runners, the developer behind Drug Dealer Simulator 2, has said it would not pursue any legal action against Schedule 1 in any shape or form if it was the one in charge of calling the shots. In case you're not caught up, Schedule 1 has been popping off since it launched in late March. It's a game all about drugs, making them, branding them, selling them. All that good stuff. Just a couple of weeks after its release, it emerged that that the Movie Games SA, the publisher for Drug Dealer Simulator 2, another game that's also about drugs, if the name wasn't already a dead giveaway, was launching an investigation against Schedule 1 into potential copyright infringement. That news did not go down particularly well, to say the least, with Drug Dealer Simulator
we saw that firsthand.
being review bombed to all hell as a result. That was partly due to the fact that many immediately jumped to the conclusion that Drug Dealer Simulator 2 was suing Schedule 1 developers TVGS. Movie Games SA came out with a statement shortly after the review bombing to say there is no lawsuit, though that doesn't seem to have done much to assuage the slew of negative reviews pouring in. The whole debacle has led to Byte Runners itself coming out with its own statement, as noted by Windows Central. The gist of it is, it doesn't own the IP and ultimately isn't in charge of making these decisions. But even if it was capable, it wouldn't be doing this, even if it does perceive some sort of resemblance between the two games. We want to state that despite the fact that we do see many similarities between the games, and some aspects of Schedule 1 were probably heavily inspired by DDS, we as the developers do not feel like we're being robbed by anyone. The statement reads, it continues to say that Schedule 1 has its own vibe, freshness, and ideas that derive from the concept of DDS1, but expand on it and bring them into its own shape and style. I mean, I do believe that.
Yeah, I do believe that the devs themselves shouldn't be getting targeted. I gotta hand it to them, and I think we might have even been a little bit biased towards them.
Yeah, I think
not necessarily intentionally, because from what we're reading here, it is the publisher that has decided to go after them.
To be honest, that
was as they've just said.
Then,
as they just said as well, they don't even want to be doing it. They don't feel anything against it, and it almost feels like the publishers should be sort of taking that opinion into account, as seeing as they're the ones who made the game. But seeing as they're the ones that own the IP, they just don't care. Yeah, they just don't care. Exactly. They seem to think that they're going to try and get a lawsuit and try and get some easy money out of it. Which, hearing what the devs are saying here, I hope they don't.
Fine. I mean, to be honest, when we were originally discussing the movie studio's response on the Steam review page, I said back then, what we need to do realistically is just wait for the developers, see if they respond. Because it's very unusual that publishers and developers see completely eye to eye. Byte Runners say that the game's cribbing, that's a new one, and takes different inspirations from each other, is abundant in game development, adding that even if they sometimes cross a few lines, they are in general a good thing for the industry and gaming as a whole. The most important bit here is Byterunner's own stance on the entire investigation. If we had a choice in this, we would not pursue any legal actions against Schedule 1 in any shape or form. The statement reads, considering we do not own the DDS IP, we do not have direct influence over the decisions surrounding the investigation or our publisher's policy. However, we have expressed our concern and opinions to them directly. Byterunner's finished up by saying it's been voicing its stance to Movie Games SA directly, adding, we want this to end well for everyone and do not want anyone affected to face this kind of negativity, fear, or hatred. That's not why we make games, and that's not what we stand for. I do feel for Byterunners here. Sometimes developer-publisher interests don't necessarily align, which already sucks.
You're literally just after saying that.
Yeah, exactly. But it sucks even more when those differing views lead your entire game getting pummeled into the ground by negative reviews. Even if it took a few jabs at Schedule 1's similarities here and there, it doesn't seem like Byterunners ultimately just wants to the situation left alone, and I don't blame the developer for that. What do you mean takes a few jabs?
I think it was a couple of days ago I did peek at Joke Dealer Sim, and I think a lot of the reviews might have been removed. Because the percentage... Can Steam not do it?
No. Well, they can, but they rarely ever do.
Yeah, you see?
Mostly positive.
You see?
No idea with this one. Bit weird.
Yeah, I was a bit confused myself. When I looked, I only saw like one or two things relating to Schedule 1. I don't know, it's hard to say.
I did just see this, though. What the fuck is this? Now, that's taking from both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to succeed, mate. Best of luck. Those assets look cool, though.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. They look pretty clean.
I do feel... Yeah, I'm honestly... Yeah, Schedule 1 developer TVGS has continued to remain quiet throughout the whole debacle, which is probably the smartest choice right now. Situations like this aren't much fun for anybody, and hopefully the whole thing gets resolved sooner rather than later. So, let's quickly go through the last few bits, shall we? Bungie's attempt... Oh, we went through this little bit here, didn't we? In October of 2024, science fiction writer Matthew Kelsey... I'm not going to try and say your last name, accused Bungie of lifting ideas for its Destiny 2 campaign from a story published on his blog, under the pseudonym Casper Cole. While some of the ideas in question are fairly generic sci-fi elements, like consciousness transfer and the use of emergency failsafes to prevent disasters, both storylines involve groups called the Red Legion, who use flamethrowers and trained hounds of war. It's entirely possible that it's a coincidence, but Bungie is struggling to prove it, since all the relevant parts of Destiny 2 are now unplayable and tucked away in the vault. Among the many problems with live service games is the way they eat themselves, rendering parts of the game inaccessible when they're overwritten by new material, made redundant, or just trimmed down to get the install size down. In the case of Destiny 2, that begin with the Beyond Light expansion launch, and the original Red War campaign as well as its two follow-ups were put in the Destiny 2 content vault. New players would never get to be baffled by them, and would instead have to settle for being baffled by whatever Bungie put in their place. I remember playing this.
Baffled by it.
They did not do too well with Destiny 2. They fucked it up royally.
We are aware of that, and to be honest, reading this, I didn't know it could get worse.
Oh, it definitely did. While Bungie's always maintained that all Destiny 2 material is just sitting in the vault for now, when the lawsuit was filed, it suddenly turned out that the material in the vault couldn't be restored. The engine had been updated, and it simply wasn't possible to restore the Red War. Instead, Bungie insisted the attached videos were the best possible way for the court to review the accused work. The videos in question included as Exhibit B, a 10-hour lore video put together by YouTuber My Name is Biff. Thank you, Biff.
What on earth?
Exhibit C is a cutscene compilation. Thank you. Again, put together by a fan, that's a mere 2 hours and 40 minutes long. As the Game Post reports, Judge Susie Morgan does not have the time for that nonsense. When Bungie filed a motion to dismiss the case using only citations from Dispedia FanWiki and ridiculously long YouTube videos, the judge disregarded it. The court will not consider the exhibits attached to the defendant's motion to dismiss and will not convert the defendant's motion to dismiss to a motion for summary judgment. The decision went there has not been sufficient time for discovery and the attachments are admittedly of third-party organisation. Their authenticity has not been established. Which means the copyright infringement court case is going ahead after all. It sure would be nice if this served as some kind of warning that sunsetting huge chunks of video games just to keep the treadmill grinding on isn't worthwhile. But given how much money these companies make at the pointy end of live service war are making out of them, I wouldn't hold your breath. Who knows? This might be the way to stop them from closing servers.
Yeah.
Just put lawsuits in.
We've been seeing a lot of stuff happening with live service stuff getting closed down or having issues.
Yeah.
And it's still continuing where we're still getting more issues. So at some point, something's going to happen, and it's going to ideally stop developers, or not, well, yeah, developers, I guess, from closing these live service games down.
It's more management. They're the ones that decide, now spending too much on servers, get rid.
Yeah. At some point, they're going to have to commit, and in those terms that you always press the tick for, it's going to be, this game will be accessible until the very earliest of blank before it closes or some whatever. Obviously, it'd be detailed and written completely differently to my stupid brain saying it, but you get what I'm saying.
So, moving to the last couple bits here. Fallout 1 and 2 source code isn't lost after all, thanks to one hero programmer. I made it a quest to snapshot everything. Rebecca Heineman, one of Interplay's founders, kept the receipts. Good on them. Tim Kaine, lead developer of original Fallout, recently lamented at the loss of Fallout's earliest development materials. When he left Interplay, he was told to delete his copies of early builds, and even his notes from the development meetings. And apparently Interplay has since lost not only the source code, but also the original Fallout artwork and the clay models that were scanned to make the 3D talking heads some of the NPCs are blessed with. Fortunately, it turns out that Interplay co-founder and programmer Rebecca Heineman kept copies of the source code for Fallout 1 and 2, as she told Video Gamer. In 1993, Interplay published a CD collecting one game it published in each of the previous 10 years, including Battle Chess, Bard's Tale, The Lord of the Rings Volume 1, and the original Wasteland. Heineman put the anthology together using her own copies of the source code of these games, except for Wasteland. When she went looking for it, she discovered others weren't putting as much effort into backups. As she explained, I asked for the source and was given a blank stare. I went to the COO's office and he gave me a cardboard box that looked like it was run over by a truck. And it had some of the source on floppies. I ended up contacting friends at EA to get a copy of the source we sent them when Wasteland shipped. From then on, Heineman took snapshots of the code for each game she worked on at Interplay, as well as those she ported for MacPlay, which was originally a division of Interplay before being licensed out. I made it a quest to snapshot everything and archive it on CD-ROMs. When I left Interplay in 1995, I had copies of every game we did, no exceptions. When I did MacPlay, which existed beyond my tenure at Interplay, every game we ported, I snapshotted, including Fallout 1 and 2. Heineman previously made the source code for 3DO, version of Doom freely available on GitHub. I wrote the code, so I gave myself permission, and I asked ID Software, and they said sure. Fallout would require permission from Bethesda. I hadn't gotten around to asking them. They're on my list. That's such a cool thing, though. Given that Bethesda is currently on Goodwill Tour with Oblivion Remastered, even giving shoutouts to modders working on Sky Oblivion, I'm sure it would be nice to see them give a thumbs up to the permanent archival of these two influential RPGs.
I gotta give it to Bethesda. They're really going in the right direction with what they're doing in terms of Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Appreciating what people are accomplishing with their game and not just, saying, no, that's not allowed. Like some other games have done with modders.
I mean, as I've said to you, I was actually really impressed by everything that was coming out of Microsoft until like about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So, I'll just quickly show this. This is actually, I'll push this back a little. That'll be the last thing. So this is what I meant by until about 3 days ago. Microsoft raises the price of all Xbox Series consoles. Xbox games confirmed to hit $80 this holiday. We'll understand that the changes are challenging. It's such a dumb idea. They're raising them by a lot. In the announcement today, the company said it'll be raising prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, headsets, and some games. The price hike for consoles and accessories kicks in today, May 1st. So that was 3 days ago, as I said. But while games prices will stay the same for now, we should expect to see Xbox charging $80 for new first-party games around the holiday season. Price increases are taking effect globally, with the exception of headset prices, which are only going up in the US and Canada. Some people do think this is due to the tariffs. We aren't a political channel, so we're not going to go into that too far, but that's what people are putting it down to. So
I guess that could be a cause. I mean, it'd certainly be a good excuse for them to use if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, 100%. Going forward, here are the expected prices on various Xbox and consoles and accessories in the US. So I'm going to compare this then to the worldwide one. Xbox Series S, $512, $379.99 to up from $299.99. That I'm so sad about because the Series S was meant to be the cheaper alternative to joining the gaming. That saddened me because I've complimented Xbox on that for a while now. So that feels sort of like a bit of a kick in the teeth, I'll be honest.
I need to run off for 1 second. My apologies.
No worries. So a lot of these prices overall, you can tell they've definitely fucking upped. Not by too much with some bits, but in other parts it's quite expensive. We understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players. What I'm okay with to an extent is the fact that they've not changed the price for Game Pass. Given that should still remain the same for us. Which means, you don't really need a console realistically in that regard. So let's have a look here. Microsoft significantly raised the prices for its Xbox console, citing increasing development costs and what it called market conditions. The increases vary from country to country. That's interesting to hear. So I'm going to do now a quick comparison. Let's load. Or at least I would, but for some reason it's lagging. Oh, there we go.
My apologies.
That's okay. We've got some UK prices here.
Oh.
The price increase vary from country to country, with Xbox Series S consoles going up by £50 to £299.99 in the UK. But that's how much it was in the US. Obviously, the prices value differently, but that still keeps it pretty cheap in the UK and affordable.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not a terrible way to start if you're like wanting to get something that you can first start getting in the game. But it's just sad to see that the prices are going up, and
definitely,
in my opinion, it was going to happen. Everything's constantly going up in this world, and it's shit. Simply put,
100%. I mean, it says right here. The US has seen even steeper prices, with the Xbox Series X increasing in price by between $100 and $130, £75, $100. as I'm gonna buy 50.
Yeah,
depending on.
I would imagine though the deal with the tariff stuff
Yeah.
in America is definitely going to be affected. I would say that's most likely the reasoning.
100%.
So I can understand why they're doing it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean it doesn't take away from the fact that it sucks.
100%. Yeah, I mean they have to get all their fucking things sent. A lot of the chips and stuff are sent from China. And
yeah, I mean, let's be honest, stuff that's made. Bits of it come from all around different parts of the world, mate.
And with these tariffs, it's just going to cause them an absolute nightmare.
Yep.
So the last thing that we have to cover today, a little clip from something that Will sent me. I just thought it was a really cool mechanic, and I wanted to share it because it's. I think it's a indie, isn't it? From what I remember.
I would imagine so, given the look of the game.
Yeah, Math Climber, now on Steam, indie game. Yeah. So this is a little mechanic that he's posted. It's something so small, but it's so cool. So
it's so unique and so cool, yeah.
And then you just
see throws the paper.
Yeah, I love that. I really do think that's so cool. And it's such a small thing. It makes no real difference to the game, but it just stands. It helps it stand out. I think it really
it's just small little bits like that. They can just add so much to a game.
Yeah, so I really wanted to show that little bit. But yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to now. Is there anything you'd like to cover before we finish today, Will?
I mean, you covered the one bit I found because I'm pretty useless at this.
You know me, I just quickly get stuff done first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But no,
I try to find bits throughout the week. I'm always browsing stuff and just going through random bits, and that's just how it is. Random bits just pop up, and you're like, "What's that?" So, verify the link before you click on it.
Yeah, there was one thing actually that we can talk about. Will, a game you and me played after last week's episode.
Oh yeah.
Because me and Will have a bit of a hobby of trying to find new co-op games or co-op VR games or things like that. And a while ago, I convinced Will to pick up Tactical Assault VR. And honestly, I'm shocked that this guy's still updating this game, but I'm so happy he is. It's basically...
When we played it at the time, I didn't have a good time. But that was because my controllers were breaking. And I was getting massive stick drift.
Yeah.
But we recently revisited.
Yeah, we did. And honestly, especially with all the updates he's done, it's really improved. And it was such a blast. I finally found out, by the way, how to arrest someone. You grab both hands and put it down.
Yeah, you can. But you can also like click down or something with one of your joysticks, and you'll yell "get on the ground" as well.
Yeah, that's how you shout to them. I was on about like actually arrest them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's honestly, I'm actually really impressed with the game. It's like Ready or Not, but VR and graphically,
it's fun. The mechanics work really well though.
Yeah.
Like bashing in the door was so fun for absolutely no reason. Just there are a few things that like I personally I'm not a fan of.
Oh, 100%.
But there are things you can get over.
Yeah.
But as a whole, the game is definitely quite fun. As I said to you when we played it, I was definitely wanting to go back for another run.
Oh, definitely. I think it was just because your some motion sickness had kicked in.
Yeah, it just happens from time to time. Normally I don't get it, but
it's one of them things. It's like a 5% chance, but when it hits, it puts you on your ass. But yeah, Tactical Assault VR, definitely a game worth checking out. A lot better than Survive. Sure. Go away. I can't stand that thing.
It's just awful. The game plays so fucking poorly.
Yeah.
I'm not on about performance. I'm on about the literal playing the game is just so shit.
Yeah, it's piss poor. There's nothing to really do. And even if there is, like, master difficulty that you and me played, that was ridiculous.
There's just infinite zombies constantly running. It's like, you don't have that many. Listen, we walked out of the spawn room, and we pretty much ran out of ammo because we had to shoot that many zombies.
Yeah.
And it's not like we were inaccurate. Like, I would say I had at least 80% headshot accuracy. Yeah. And some of them took multiple bullets to the head as well because they were wearing a helmet. And even though you shoot them in the face where the helmet isn't covering, it still counts as hitting the helmet.
Yeah.
Terrible mechanic that I've seen in a lot of games.
Sadly, same. And like you play something like After the Fall that we played ages ago. That was phenomenal at the time we originally played it. And then they released the 1.9 update and absolutely broke it.
Yeah. And again, like, just an example of raising the difficulty just makes it that enemies are bullet sponges.
Yep.
It's just crap.
It's such a piss take, man. Really is.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you all for watching this episode of PandTha Talks. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, join the Discord, and all that good stuff.
The Discord.
I do remember occasionally. And we will catch you all in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
See you guys next week. Thanks for watching.